the fourth-year man from Texas A&M, Kristen Michael. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And that leads to a Green Bay first.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
Second down following the incompletion. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Carlos Dunlap in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here's Jones. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bengals take possession. They come up in an offset eye. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Clay Matthews is an absolute force. Multiple Pro Bowls as an outside linebacker. He can swing inside and create the same havoc.
Third down from the gun. Dalton. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Geno Atkins is an absolute force as a defensive tackle. Forces every offense that he plays against to alter their game plan.
They come out here in the eye. Throwing is Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They go to Michael again. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run a toss play to Michael. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Christian Michael, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
The tackle is made by Micah Hyde.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
The first down throw coming for Dalton. Surveying the field. He'll rifle this, and that's caught inside the 30. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And the Bengals are going to have a first down. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy took off.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Giovanni Bernard, 29 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Off for the point after is Randy Bullock. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Domata Peko, the one to get him down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. And the 2016 NFL Comeback Player of the Year was Jordy Nelson. He had a fantastic year after the knee injury in 2015. Well over 1,000 yards again. And once again, he was the #1 target for Aaron Rodgers.
NFL high, 14 receiving touchdowns. What dimension does he add that makes them so good on offense?
Dependability as well as speed. All right, Jordy Nelson's the type of guy who can run any route you want, yet he can also take the top off of a defense, as we like to say, by running past people. It's a heck of a combination to deal with. Plus, Aaron Rodgers knows when he gets in trouble, he just looks for Jordy Nelson, and 9.9 times out of 10.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
We can talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And this will be incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jared Cook from 10 yards out. And the Packers have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting back.
Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They'd have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Rodgers. And Michael fumbles it. Fumbled the football. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's 2nd down. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And complete right side to Cook. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jared Cook with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Second down, Dalton. And a right side completion here by LaFell. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And the offense moving quickly to the line. 1st and 10 for Dalton. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
When you hear screen, screen, screen on defense, that's a little bit scary because you know a big play might result.
He was so ready to get to part 2 of the screen, he forgot part 1. Couldn't get the ball. Rodgers will try again on second down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
380. Zebra.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Trying to get it to LaFell, but it's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And a new set of downs here. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Rodgers with a keeper. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll try and run for it with Michael. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Kristen Michael in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengals getting set to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Finding time. He's going to let it go again. And this one is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Ten yards to go on third. They'll come out in the pistol. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run. This is Bernard. Call it a pickup of 7. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them up and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know
go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
So Dalton now. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They run again with Michael. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And now they're in the hurry-up.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
And that is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's 4th down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Jones on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early predictions for that one. Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle, starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. If Earl Thomas returns, I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense and their quarterback stays healthy, they could be that team, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I'm going dark horse. Cleveland Browns. Let's go.
Hey, from worst to first.
Call it a gain of 3. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Dalton now to pass. On the screen, Bernard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Shift together here from the D-line. And it'll be Dalton again. Green's got it over the middle. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And the Bengal fans are probably saying, where has that been?
And they have to, because everyone wants to talk about having a balanced offense.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert there to make the grab. assertive. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film section, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover it.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Throwing is Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. They'll get 19 yards there, and it'll give the Packers a first down. Back now in Cincinnati. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Rodgers now on 1st down. Caught by Nelson left side. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. So this brings up a 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations than 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And Nelson's got it here right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he finds Cook. It's a gain of 4, and it gives him the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Rodgers going to throw. And complete right side to Cook. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll run it here with Michael. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. On second down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
26.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Kristen Michael from 6 yards away. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
They probably just want to put this one behind them. Passing, it's Dalton, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. He's got time in the pocket. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. Now 4th down. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Dalton. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Escaping the pressure right. That is caught. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Rodgers looking to throw. Touchdown, Packers. Jared Cook there to make the grab. And the Packers add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the box.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Sam Shields. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we have 2 incredible receivers from the 2011 NFL Draft going head-to-head. It's Julio Jones going up against A.J. Green. So let's send you up now to the Queen City of Cincinnati. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are in the place the folks here call the Jungle, and that's Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and that'll bring up second down. first drive for this offense today and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Here's a look at the young Atlanta Falcons, although next year, obviously, everyone will be a year older. So rookies like Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell, an extra year, well, their only year, but a year under their belt now to get better.
They're just young and growing, aren't they? I mean, I expect their play to continue to accelerate and elevate. And think about the building blocks they had in front of them. Second-year guys in 2016 who had big years. Grady Jarrett, a monster in the Super Bowl, tied a sack record in that game against New England. And Vic Beasley led the NFL in sacks for the regular season with 15 and a half, and also had 6 forced fumbles.
Dalton now to pass. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
8 yards still remaining here on 3rd down. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And Eifert has it. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. A big play there for the Bengals. 42 yards. Dalton operating in the red zone now. Can't find anyone open. Look at the time. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Zebra!
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. He's got time. Still back there. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Bullock will put this one through, but there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Giovanni Bernard taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. He completes it to Julio Jones. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones, just 6 touchdowns, but, you know, of course he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't he?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished, actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible.
Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
This one complete to Mohamed Sanu.
And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated in 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really nice compliment to Julio Jones. And he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers, so you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Cincinnati now ready to take the field, and they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. They come up in an offset eye. Again, here's Bernard. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Zebra! Bang! 380! 380! Ace!
On the toss, Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Another toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones in there to get him for a loss of 5. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it brings up 4th down.
That's a really fine play there, because anytime you see a comeback route, that means you cannot just stay in one spot and make a play on the ball. You've got to move your feet and move with the receiver, and that's exactly what he did.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is, and I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a third Pro Bowl in 2017. Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Getting it out left side to Sanu. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Going underneath, it's Coleman. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle? But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
A gain of 8 and a 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. 2
minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. They'll run again with Bernard. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now a carry for Bernard. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
They send Green to the left on his own. From midfield here, Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And they're going to speed things up here. 1st down and goal, the offense knocking on the door. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And they'll try and burn some clock with a sneak. And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1.
Brand, we've been around these coaches enough to know that there should never be a loss of yardage on a quarterback sneak.
Ever.
So that's on everyone, right? Offensive line, quarterback himself. There's got to be a way to pick up yards. You're not supposed to be knocked backwards.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So out come the Falcons now. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And this one brought in by Sanu. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Here's Ryan, finding Gabriel, complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. On first down, Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball to the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up finding another receiver.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. On second down, Ryan. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is third down and 8. On third down, Ryan. This will be caught at about the 6. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Bryant's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline, somewhat happy.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On the screen, Bernard. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. Second down now after the pass completion.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Zebra.
Dalton throwing on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Dalton. Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. A dump off now to Hill. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down. That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. So pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So now Randy Bullock with an important field goal try here. And Bullock will put this one through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Fielded about a yard deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Even score late in the fourth. Let's see if the defense can play within themselves, not give up the big play and contain, and keep this knotted up. So now it's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Bernard into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. 2nd down, Dalton. Got a man, it's LaFell for the Bengal touchdown. Brandon LaFell, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Back to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good 1st down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd down, just 1 yard to go. He's back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jacob Tammy, there. And it's 3rd and short.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured to replace to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So just 1 yard to go here on third down. Back to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He'll look to throw. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Here's Bernard. And cuts out right sideline. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll give the Bengals a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills? And it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Lagniappe, what you doing? Exit next one.
One more extra point attempt for good measure. It's up and it's good as they tack on one more to what's going to be a very satisfying victory. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they did.
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddies, girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. We're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight. Yeah. Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old hang. Nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. Yeah, it's the kind of thing. You know we're straight out of that dirty south, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight.
don't make no difference.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Breeze's Saints going up against Wilson Seahawks. And with that, we'll send you up to the Pacific Northwest and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, home of the 12s, as we'll welcome in our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They come up in an offset eye. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches.
65 catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he's brought down. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so, because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, to bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver.
And that's Curse for the Seattle touchdown, hauling it in. Jermaine Curse from 3 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
Here's Breeze to throw. And Cooks has it over the middle. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And now a first down following that long gain. They go play action here on first down. And that's complete to Cooks. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass and completing it.
It's complete to Fuller. And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Now Breeze again. Thomas has got it, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. And this last year, right around mid-season, it's kind of when Michael Thomas emerged as Drew Brees' favorite target. And he finished leading all rookies, 92 catches, over 1,100 yards.
And one of the things I remember most about learning about Michael Thomas last season when I did a Saints game was finding out how much winning meant to him. Multiple teammates talked about after a loss how upset he was, how much he put into practice getting ready for the next week, and how much he was looking at other guys and wondering, do you care as much as I do? And that's a really big deal for a rookie receiver, and he translated it into action the rest of the year.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their big-bodied receiver, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints, if they convert the extra point, they'll have the lead. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense. And
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on second down. Now Wilson on second down. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Out onto the midfield comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
For Ingram, he topped the 1,000-yard mark this year for the first time in his 6-year career.
Didn't he just come out of Alabama last
That's
year?
what it feels like, right?
I mean,
hard
it's
to
amazing.
believe 6 seasons he's had.
Won a Heisman Trophy there, finally over 1,000 yards as a pro, and he increased his number of long runs, becoming a much better ball carrier into the secondary.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
They'll look to run with Ingram, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit, and sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play?
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Kobe Flainer, a 2-yard touchdown grab, and the Saints have taken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. In the slot on the right is Graham. They start on the ground with Rawls. Fighting through. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
More and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that'll get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They come out here in the I. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Breeze. It's caught left side by Cooks. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, 51 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They go again with Rawls. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Tackle made there by Nick Fairley.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Luke Wilson, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural pass. The guys that make the big plays on the outside, if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And credit the tackle to Cliff Avril. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Left side and caught by Flainer. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Over the middle, open is Thomas. Give him 8 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And quickly, they get to the line. Here's Breeze to throw. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up in an offset eye. Breeze now on 1st down. Thomas has got it. Complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And here's Lewis. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Ataba Rubin makes the stop. So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Second down following the run. Now Breeze throwing on second down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Throwing now is Breeze. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Breeze now to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On second down, here's Breeze. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Now a man who sat out 3 seasons. This is Tim Hightower. No gain on the play there. Second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. This is turning into a bit of a death march here, the 13th play of this drive. They come up in an offset eye. To throw, it's Breeze. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, Rawls. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now they're in the hurry-up. First down, this is Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon. And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
That's caught at the 2. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. And they're going to speed things up here.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls taking it in. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed.
Yeah, right? A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They come up in an offset eye. Breeze now. And Cooks hands it over the middle. Brandon Cooks. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly This is where they just want to milk the clock. First and goal, defense with their backs against the wall. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram punching it in from a yard away. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Breeze is going to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
I got one. 14, funny.
Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and it's 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
They go play action with Wilson. He's got Curse. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here's Wilson to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And Graham's got it over the middle. They had to go for it with...
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, buddy. Bye-bye. Go ahead and quit. Bye-bye.